Senegal President Boswe Damia, I'm probably butchering that last name, attended a ceremony after receiving the official report on the Touré massacre. In the presidential palace of Dakar on October 16th of 2025, the Black Seminole Scouts served America from 1870 to 1914, never losing a man in combat, earning 4 Congressional Medals of Honor. Lieutenant John Bullis led through 26 campaigns while their families starved back home, and the American government broke every promise to them, forcing them to move to the Spanish Floridas, the first black community, in 1738. The Mexico refugee and back to Texas. Let's see, America's most decorated, forgotten warrior. See, this is one of those many true stories of warriors who fought for countries that betrayed them. And while their legacy matters, we still find ourselves, however, fighting in wars where
that have nothing to do with us.
Yes, that has nothing to do with us, but we're betrayed, by those people who we are fighting for. Mm-hmm. And we find ourselves inspired to fight alongside an enemy who we have always been at war with, even till this day, as we fight for, fairness in this ongoing discussion of procurement and what we're going to touch on today.
All right. Well, it's important that procurement reaches our community, but now you guys can see us on Facebook. Okay.
All right.
So our storage was full. So now we can focus on this. Those of you on Facebook, please share the show. And we want to let you know, again, Larry is speaking at the Bill Winston's church right now, representing not just himself, but the chamber. All right. Now, this is what the chamber has done to help businesses. The chamber has helped businesses get paid. This is when they're getting ignored, okay? Businesses who may have a contract, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it may take eons of years to get their money. They call Larry, and Larry picks up the phone, and suddenly there's cash coming through the door, okay? Those things happen more often than you would think. Connected entrepreneurs to legislators and corporations. So if you've got a situation where you're a smaller company, you're subprime, right? Mm-hmm. And you need to connect with a prime company. Larry does this matchmaking with his eyes closed. But not just Larry, the chamber itself, and of course with Larry's relationship building since 1997. That's the history. The Illinois State Black Chamber has been around since 1997. It used to be called the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce. And then we went through years of helping businesses, facilitating the meetings between them and legislators, them and other business owners. And so from that time to now, we have built a database of businesses, not just small businesses, okay? This is not small meat and potatoes. Businesses, whereas if you were in a room and you say, you know what, I would expand my business if.
Right.
And those ifs are in our database, in our membership database. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that is how the chamber works. But there's much more to it. We have been giving black businesses a platform to be seen and heard. So when we do our annual conference, we have panels. And most likely those panels are individuals or corporations that the businesses want to talk to. Questions and answers. Of course, this show, the Wake Up Show, right. And not to mention giving platforms on a regular basis with networking events like our cruise. And then next month, we have Lobby Day coming. So Lobby Day allows for you can register at ILBCC.org, where you register to come out on this one particular day. And you can meet with state agency leaders. We're talking about the Illinois Department of Revenue, the Illinois Department of Transportation, the Illinois Department of Corrections, and the list goes on. You can be in those rooms with Larry or a committee chairman from our organization and ask those pertinent questions like, where's my money? Where's my opportunity? But not just those questions, because we don't want to get comfortable asking people the same questions. What we do is we do Lobby Day training before lobby day. Whether it's on the bus while we're riding down there for 2 hours, we prepare people how to participate during lobby day. We also have a list of bills that have been in committee, possibly needing a vote, and we push for those votes. And that's true lobbying. But you have to be a part of it because numbers really make results. Now, why do so many people call the chamber when they need help? I want to make sure that I want you guys to understand, they call the chamber when they need help because they get results. But what we don't want to happen, have you ever called someone, or has anyone ever called you, Lorenzo, and asked to borrow money?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking about me. And once you give them the money, you don't hear from them, right? They got what they wanted, but you don't hear from them. So our membership is an annual membership fee. People join, they pay their membership, and sometimes we don't hear from them. Sometimes they forget that they're a member. How can they forget? Well, because they've moved on to other things. How do we make them not forget? By staying in touch with them.
Absolutely.
But they certainly don't forget about the chamber when they need help. And this is so important to understand, that it's good to have someone when you need help that you can call on. So I know I can call you and get $20,
right?
Because you gave it to me last time, or you gave it to someone else last time, and that's how the chamber works. You see the results. You see the businesses turning into multi-million-dollar empires, and you want some of that. So in order to get some of that, you got to get in the trenches and go through the process.
Right.
But I always say no money, no honey. And I know last week we had a caller that called in and said, you know what, when you help someone, you should not charge them to help them. I agree 100%. But when you're an organization, when you're a chamber, there's a lot of moving parts, lights, okay, team members, lunches, all kinds of resources need to be allocated in order to continue from 1997 to 2097 and to continue helping those businesses. So we say we want ownership. I'm okay. We say we want ownership. We say we want access. We say we want equity. But are we really willing to invest in the very structure that makes that possible? That's my question to you. And Dee and Terrie, I see you guys holding because Terrie's going to come on as a guest.
And that is a big question, but it starts with what you're doing right now with educating people on, you know, who the chamber is and what the chamber does. I think even furthermore, and I think we have to understand that we are at war and have always been at war, and that war is economically. We have been in an economical war. It's more so now. It's more so now than what we've seen it in the past. I think before in the past it was hidden.
Right, it was there.
Hidden. Now it's out in the open. But we have been, especially as a culture, we have been in an economic war. That's why we're in this hamster wheel that we find ourselves in. The conversations that we have today are the same conversations that have been taking place in the 50s and 60s. If you go back and listen to some of those radio shows and commentary, it is the exact same hamster wheel conversation. So until we understand and recognize that we are at economic war, nothing's going to change. And when we say war, I don't want to say war as a war with arms and weapons, but our war can take place, or our action can take place economically. We have the power to do that. And the chamber is one of those institutions where you can exercise that power and join into the fight.
All right. So I have a question for the audience, and you guys can give us a call at 773-591-1690. Have you ever benefited from a connection, an opportunity, or exposure? How did you pay it forward? Did you pay it forward? That's my question to you guys. 773-591-1690. Let's go ahead and take D. D, you're live. Hi, D.
Hey, D.
D, 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 D. All right, we're going to put D back on hold. Yeah, they must have stepped away. But how did you pay it forward? Because this is so important. What, hang up? Put her on hold? Oh, okay. I don't think I did it. I hit the wrong button. All right, guys. Yeah, this is so important because that question, when that caller called in, it stuck with me. And I watch Larry work. Like, for instance, if we have Larry's out at a conference right now, and they're talking about international trade, how we can get in. Now, I'm not talking about people who have done it before. I'm talking about regular businesses and services and products that can get involved in international trade. So in getting into international trade, do you just jump out there on the deep end and take a trip, book a flight to Africa? You know what I'm saying? And you don't know which country are you going to, right? Let's say you go ahead, you choose to go to Zimbabwe, right? Now, who do you talk to when you get there? Who's going to help you facilitate those relationships? But I think what we tend to do is we worry about who's benefiting from our benefit. Who's benefiting from what we benefit from. But you have to really understand and take into account that there's always a door to walk through, but somebody has to open it for you. And if you try to open it yourself, it will take longer. Absolutely. It's not that you can't do it.
Absolutely.
But having someone like the chamber behind you really does make sense.
Right.
Guys, again, lobby day, registration. Go to ILBCC.org and you will see the upcoming events. And that registration is so important so that we can make the count, know who's coming, and then have accommodations and resources for that many people. Don't wait till the last minute. And I'll pull it up on my screen so that I know exactly the information that you're going to need, like what day it is. I think it's the 14th. I got to look. All right, let's take D. I think D is back. Hi, D, you're live.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's LaDonna and Larry today, correct?
Yeah, but Larry's out and Lorenzo's in. Lorenzo's in for Larry.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Good morning. And I believe you asked the question if there was ever a time where any one of us received help or assistance from someone that we knew, or how, kind of like a hookup or a connection type thing. Is that what the question was?
Yeah. Have you ever benefited, and how did you pay it forward, or did you pay it forward?
So I'm going to answer that question with yes. I have received assistance, help from someone, but I was never in a position to pay it forward. And the reason for me never being in the position to pay it forward was because I was so low on the totem pole, or I had just got my foot in the door that I couldn't. And it never, I never rose up on a level where I can say, I can open the door and say, hey, you come in here too.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second, D. Because I think what we think is paying it forward or even paying it back may not be the only way. So can you tell us a little bit more? Was it in your business that someone helped you and you just didn't get to the point where you could open the door the same way?
I'm not a business owner.
All right. Well, tell me. Talk about
I'm not a business owner. So it was something on a personal level with family. And also it was in a position with a job. But again, I came in on at the bottom. So I was pretty much just, trying to keep myself afloat. But with the family situation, I put it out there that, hey, if there's anything that I can do to help you with whatever, just let me know. But here's the thing. Family usually, when they can't, when they go and they need the help, they normally, if you can't help them in the way that they want the help or need the help, which I understand that they don't come to you. I mean, and it could be a myriad of reasons as to why, but they don't. And I extended myself.
Yeah, I like how you put that, because you're so right. When there's specific help that's needed, if you're not able to help in that specific way, however, I don't know what it is about my spirit, my energy, right? If someone has helped me with something, let's say it's personal. I know we're a business show, but watch this. It goes both ways. If someone has helped me with something and then I see that they need help, I don't discount myself as being able to help them. What I do is I find a way. I don't wait for them to ask me either, because I'm one of those people. I take care of my dad. Someone's always offering to help me, and I'm always saying I got it, but yet I'll come on the show and talk about how I do it by myself. You see you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I have.
That's actually the situation. It was with my mom, and I talked to you on your other show with Tiba about the caregiving. So I get it.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Dee. Thank you so much.
You know, I'm glad Dee brought that up, because where we have dropped the ball, I ain't gonna say I remember. I was born in the 70s. But when you do the research and you go back and you look at our culture in the 60s, we survived off what was called the bartering system. It was shameful to be in debt to a bank or any type of loaning institution. So what we did amongst ourselves and as a community, if those who came up during that time, and because I'm talking about, you know, my parents and great grandparents, they borrowed from one another. And they bartered with other family members and with other business institutions. That was
tied
the
into
system.
Business. I like this.
And that's how we survived being in debt, because during that time, being in debt to someone and owing somebody money, especially like, you know, white institutions, that was shameful and an embarrassment. So somewhere between that time and now
we just block them.
Now debt has somehow been popularized. You know, everybody has a car note or some type of loan that's draining their
resources
and resources down.
But now I'm thinking, so if I bring it back to the chamber, and Michael O'Connor, I'm going to grab you next. Terrie's coming on for a specific reason, but if I bring it back to the chamber has been around, you know, as I said, since 1997. And I look at all the positive results that the chamber has made, some inroads for a lot of different people. And what if Larry retires? You know what I'm saying? I started thinking about how to thank him for all these years of service that he's done in a grand way when he decides to retire. Can he retire? You know what I'm saying? Is it possible? Right. You know, so I know he's not here today, so I'm able to talk about this freely because he doesn't have to give me the look because he's not here. But with that being said, I just want to make sure that we look at all of our organizations, institutions, corporations, businesses, individuals, solopreneurs, and say, you helped me. Now let me help you. And even if it can't be what they helped you with, of course, then find a way, because you know why? Because it's just good business. Let's go ahead and get Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor, you're live.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
The question that was asked that I'd like to answer is, have you ever benefited from something and then gave back to an entity to help them?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, the African American community in urban America was suffering. We've always had healthcare disparities, but we were suffering from HIV. And what I did, I and three other people, we sat down because we had friends who were dying left and right, and nobody, cared, literally. Mm-hmm. Some of the funeral homes refused to bury them and all that type of stuff. We got together and we decided to organize our own entity that would try to help to deal with the solution. And that was to educate people in the African American community, specifically the subset of African American LGBTQ people. And so what I did was I got a permit for an event to take place at Belmont Rocks, which was the day that they would have the Pride Parade. African Americans, because of segregation here in this city, would usually leave from the parade and not have anywhere to go. They would go home. So we changed that. What we did was we had big draws. We borrowed $26,000. Well, not borrowed, but we got a resource grant from the Illinois Department of Public Health. Mm-hmm. And we had a one-day event where we literally brought in healthcare entities from our community.
So you basically took it into your own hands and said, "There's a disparity. We're going to bring it to our community. This is what we're going to do." I really appreciate that comment, Michael. And you keep doing what you're doing. Call in anytime. We appreciate it. All right. As promised, I have put into the chat the link so that you can go to what is called Lobby Day. And you don't have to be a business owner to join us, but you do have to be present to help us, okay? Yes. Right? And Lobby Day, I've been going for the past 4 or 5 years. It's been I'm not going to say it's fun, but I am going to say I learn something new every year. I went ahead and put the link into the chat, but if you go to ILBCC.org, you'll be able to register for that. And we're going to get our guest on. She's going to tell us about her event, and then we'll wrap with giving you guys some resources that you can use in paying it forward, joining the chamber. This is not a telethon, okay? And getting some, personal assistance in your business. Terrie Simmons, I hear that you have this beautiful event coming up at the end of the month. Terrie, why don't you tell us about it? Terrie?
I do.
Hey, Terrie, you're on.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
I'm gonna.
You hear me?
Right. Yeah. He said he was on the phone. Yeah, I can hear you now, Terrie. I'm looking at my guy here, my producer. Okay. All right, Terrie. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
LaDonna.
Good morning.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are having a really great show this morning. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you very much.
I always do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always do. You know, your question about how have you benefited from others and how did you pay it forward? I really love that question because the Illinois State Black Chamber is one of the organizations that I have benefited from, and I continue to benefit from the Illinois State Black Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And I have been a part of this chamber since 2010 when I worked in corporate America for Commonwealth Edison. When I first heard about it, I was in economic development. And so I have been a part of every conference, every lobby day for the last 15 years. And how has Larry and the chamber helped me? I am a small business owner. I own a consulting firm. And this is our 4th year where we're having our annual Business Connect and Contract Summit. And each year, the Illinois State Black Chamber supports this effort because they know that this is a partnership with them to help our businesses to continue to grow and scale. And I want to today, LaDonna, just not only talk about my upcoming event, but the young man talked about bartering. And what I see that as, and I know about bartering. He said that he was born in the 70s. Well, I don't even want to talk about the years I was born in, but my family bartered too. And now there's a term called joint ventures. And so I remember Larry talking last week about a lot of our small businesses are at the $25,000, $50,000 range. At our summit, we're going to be talking about joint ventures. It's how you come together like a bartering and put your resources together and grow your businesses together. Because we have a lot of businesses that at that particular stage that are looking for ways to scale and grow, and they may not have all of the capacity that they need, such as resources or capital, and that other company may have that. So you put those things together, and then you come up with ways, and you come up with your strategic plan, which we're going to be having a panel of subject matter experts that's going to be talking about strategic planning and how to grow your business through your operations and things like that. But this is what we do at our upcoming 4th annual Connect and Contract Summit that's happening at Malcolm X College on March the 30th. And we're so excited to be a helper of the chamber and to be a partner with the chamber. And I want to just add, LaDonna, I don't know how much longer you're going to have me on, but I want to say that we have 5 free passes for your chamber members today. All they have to do is email info@strategicexceptions.com. And we have, for the first 5 emails that we receive, you will get a free pass. And like LaDonna said, we would love to give everything away for free, but we have operating costs as well. Yeah. So the great way of Terrie's tip today, grow and scale your business. Lead from, I'm going to be with Larry in just a little bit at the Bill Winston's event. After you leave that event, come on over to the Connect and Contract Summit, continue to develop those relationships, sit down and have that 10 to 15 minute one-on-one conversations with these corporations, these federal agencies, transportation companies, healthcare, and tell them about what you're doing. Pitch your business to these buyers and let them know, I'm ready to do business with you. I'm ready to scale, and let's be successful together. So, LaDonna, I'm so excited, as you can tell, about our upcoming summit.
Yes, that's exciting news. Now, I know I'm going to ask you, how do people get their tickets? But before I do that, when they pitch their businesses, you said these people are ready to work with them?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we have gotten away from believing that to be true. And feeling like, well, I'm not prepared, so it's not my time, or I'm prepared, but I don't want to waste my time. Why don't you tell us the difference in coming to your event so that mindset is dissipated?
So, LaDonna, what we know for sure is relationships is where the impact and the outcomes happen. So we know that there's a lot of, and not to talk about any large-scale event, but our event is more on a medium scale, where you heard the phrase, who you know, but at our summit is about who knows you. You get a chance to sit down and have those one-on-one conversations with decision makers. You have to be able to, if you're not ready to have that 60-second or that 3-minute or that 15-minute conversation, you can contact us and we can get you ready too. But understanding what are your capabilities, and then having a capability statement to say, hey, this is what I've done in the past, and this is what I can do for you. And what we do, once you register, let us know that you want to be a part of matchmaking, and we will pre-match you with at least five businesses that are ideal for you to be able to have a conversation with, so that it can lead to that $1 million contract that LaDonna talked about. Because our goal is for businesses to walk away. We want $10 million at least to come out of this summit. So we are really excited, LaDonna. We want to help folks build their stories, tell their stories. And if you're already in the contracting space, this is opportunity for you too. It's for businesses of all sizes. If you don't have your capability statement, we can help you build that as well. Or if you just need help tweaking it based upon the conversation that you need to have at our summit. And that's another tip I want to give to our small businesses. Make sure you understand the audience that you're going to be talking to, because every audience, you don't tell the same story to every audience. So understanding how to phrase that story that you're telling. If you're talking to a utility company, it may not be the same conversation that you're going to be having with the Department of Transportation. So, LaDonna, I hope that helps our businesses to prepare for this upcoming summit on March the 30th. It's all day, but on the 29th, we have a lead-in to that, and it's called the She Leads Women's Recognition Reception, and that's going to be at the Hyatt House on the 29th. And we have Desiree Rogers of Fashion Fair.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be there helping her reintroduce Fashion Fair to our community. So we're so excited to not only help our businesses grow, but we are also excited to be able to recognize the women in our community that are trailblazers and that are doing amazing things to help build and grow our community.
I love it. I'm actually wearing Fashion Fair ever since I was part of Melody's cohort sessions, and we had a beautiful celebration with Miss Desiree Rogers, and she reintroduced Fashion Fair to us then, and I said, I'm going today to get my color matched, and that's what I've been wearing. So it's good to know that you've got her on your panel as well. I was looking at your flyer, and are we working in collaboration with you, Terrie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Well, look, I'm about to fuss at you. This is paying it forward. I don't see our logo on the flyer. Is there an updated one?
Yes, ma'am, and we will get that over to you immediately. So,
okay.
Yes, ma'am, we will definitely get that over to you immediately. Thank you, because, this is what we do.
Uh-huh.
We help each other.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait, guys. But tell them how to register, because
Okay.
they need to know that information.
Sure. You can register at, we have Eventbrite, so you can go to Eventbrite, but you can also register at www.strategic, that's SRATEGIC, exceptions, EXCEPTIONS.com. You can reach us at info@strategicexceptions.com, or you can text to 630-746-5634 if you're interested in the 5 free passes. Or if you don't make the 5 free passes, we do have a discount code for the members of the chamber, and that is CONNECT, CONNECT 2026. And we look forward to seeing you there, building, growing your businesses. And we also look forward to seeing you at the She Leads Awards Recognition Reception on March the 29th at the Hyatt House. And we have some wonderful jazz by one of our local jazz artists, Terrie. So we're looking forward to 2 great days of business growth, developing, and having a great time celebrating and growing with each other.
And that's paying it forward for sure. I love that. Thank you so much, Terrie. Everybody, I'm going to put the information in the chat on Facebook if you're on Facebook. And if you still need to hear it again, you can call. Give them a number to call so they can talk to you directly.
They can call. And you can reach me on LinkedIn, Terrie Simmons, MBA. We are at strategicexceptions.com on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So we're on all of those social outlets. Again, you can text to 630-746-5634. Thank you so much. Everybody have a good weekend and be safe.
All right, you too. That's what I'm talking about. That went right along with our conversation about paying it forward. As you get a leg up, as someone helps you up, you are to do the same for others. And Terrie Simmons with Strategic Exceptions is doing that very same thing. I see some comments out here. I'm trying to get to them, but my screen won't let me. It won't let me be great. We'll figure it out. But I see your comments, guys. It looks like, love the question. Good morning. Love the questions. Thank you. Thank you. You guys can call in. We have a few more. Well, we have about 15 minutes. 773-591-1690. If you're a business owner and someone helped you with your business, let's say you were about to close the doors and someone found a way, or you had a property tax issue, or if you couldn't achieve the product that you needed to at a cost that made sense to you, and someone helped you with that. Or there's so many different scenarios I can give. Certification, being certified, introduced to another entity, being a sub on a prime, if you know what I mean, and getting in the ear of our legislators. All of those things. Give us a call, 773-591-1690. The other thing we don't do, Lorenzo, is when someone helps us, we want to keep them to ourselves. We don't want to tell anybody we got any help. Yeah, the gatekeepers. So how did you do that? I came up with it on my own. I. That doesn't help the next person at all. And it doesn't make you look smarter. It makes you look overworked. It makes you look like you did not have a team behind you. I want to you since you're an actor and plus you are a human rights consultant.
Right.
But on the acting side, if you've ever watched a movie, ladies and gentlemen, do the credits say written, directed, acted, produced, gripped, edited by Lorenzo T. Hughes?
And that's the purpose of credits. Even when I was working in my practice, doing clinical orthopedic work, being a solopreneur, there comes a point where you can't take on a certain amount of volume. So it was always great when you could refer someone out. That what that did was that strengthened your brand and who you were as a professional. Even though sometimes people would prefer to work with you, but if they needed the services and you had the ability to refer them out to someone else that whose services is equal to yours, if not better, that always will strengthen your brand as a professional. So and that also strengthens us as a community and a network of business owners.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you get overworked, right? I'm glad you brought that up. We have partnered with remote.work, as a matter of fact. So remember, before Terrie got on, I was talking about how to get a personal assistant. Well, I want to go deeper than that. The chamber has actually partnered with remote.work. And the reason for that is because this allows you to allocate some of the duties in your everyday operations to a virtual assistant. Now, I know that most of you know what a virtual assistant is, and I'll go ahead and give you a description. It is someone who does not work within your office, that is highly trained on operational functions. Some may be highly trained in social media, executive assistant training, secretarial, which falls under that umbrella, so I'm using older terms. And they also may be trained in website development, visual communications, anything digital, okay? Now, because of this, there's a need. Every need is different with different businesses. For instance, in my business, because I do radio Monday through Thursday, when I get home, I have to work on my business. And those tasks can be a bit much. I have to schedule them to go out at 9 a.m. if I'm not careful. But if I had remote.work, which I am going to sign up, and I hate the word sign up because it's like, oh, this is just an infomercial in the infomercial. But no, this is a partnership. What I'm able to do with remote.work is I'm able to allocate a set of responsibilities to one individual. And that person spends 40 hours a week working on my business. So all I get are updates, check-ins, okay? As long as you know what you do, you can train someone else to do what you do. If you don't know what you do, don't waste your money, okay? Because you don't know. If I do everything is not enough to say do everything to someone else. You have to know in detail what it is you do. So in this, if you go to, I'm going to put the link in. If you go to partner.remote. I'm not going to give you that. It's a bunch of letters after it. But we have a link on our website. If you go to ILBCC.org, you will see that we have a direct link to this particular service so that you can consider it for your business. It helps in having this type of assistance because when you try to do everything, you'll drop everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? What were you going to say?
And when you have an assistant, that frees you up just a little bit more so that you can do other things that are beneficial to
like go
your
get
business,
sales,
right? And your service.
Yeah.
Sometimes that allows you to employ someone else. One of the things that we constantly comment and complain about is not being able to employ our own. And you mentioned before that we're so worried about the removal of DEI, we can become our own
Well,
DEI.
actually, it's more specific. It was affirmative action, and
right,
yeah, because I'm like, okay, if we're a business, affirmative action, we're doing the hiring. We can
Right.
do our own affirmative action. So if you go to our website, go to Explore, and then you'll see remote working, and that'll take you right to the page. So it can go into details about how you can consider having a virtual assistant in your business. All right. Let's go ahead and take Mike M. Mike, you're live.
Yes. Good morning, Miss LaDonna.
Good
How
morning.
are you doing?
I'm doing swell-tastic. How are you?
I hear it in your voice, and I want to share this with you right quick, which is what you were talking about this morning. I identify it as a culture, and it can be our business culture, our people's business culture, not to just lock us in as being this caller or that caller or what have you, but the people's business culture. And my quick little story related to that, I saw on TV at one time about some country over in the Far East. They had a holiday coming up, and that holiday clashed with them going to their religious gathering, going to the mosque or whatever. And amazing, this is what I learned from that, and also see it otherwise in business and money. Culture drives everything. They celebrated that special holiday, and they didn't go to the mosque. And someone mentioned to me about, it's written in a good book that says these people were going to give an offering, and they was trying to make it to Mecca, but it was a big storm, and it was muddy and so on, and they was praying to make it in, and God told them, hey, don't worry about that. I know your heart. Take the money and make merry, have a party. So, hey, the culture is a heart thing. Paying it back, helping somebody else, giving to that, it's really a heart thing, and it can be a culture for many small businesses because they are elderly people that like to put their money to work. They don't have that much to put to work, and there could be an organization that could handle that money and pay them a little interest and put that $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever it may be to work with some people that need the money that's in the community, all working together, paying it back or paying it forward, however you want to put it. But it's a heart thing.
I love it. I love that you said
So
that.
I just want to pass that on, and I think you're a spearhead of that.
Thank you very much. It's the heart of
Very
the
good
culture.
point. Very good point.
Right? I love that.
Yes.
Well, it's just good business.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about what Mike said, Lorenzo, what comes to mind? Because if you think of the culture of black business, describe the black business culture.
Well, when
I know that I put you on the spot.
it's
This is a safe space.
the black business culture has evolved into a culture that
Ladies and gentlemen, he's turning red.
no, I don't want to say I'm turning red, but I really want to get away from hitting us over the head with the sledgehammer or something, because we've gotten away from ethical practices when we talk about the black business culture. Because right now, if I was to speak open and honestly about it, we've lost a lot of ethics when it comes to black business and relationships, where we talked about the gatekeeping, the refusal to network with other black business owners, and I say that in the degree of when I spoke earlier, I was talking about our ability to fund and barter with one another. Mm-hmm. When we can circulate our income amongst business owners, we don't have to go to the bank. We don't have to go to lending institutions.
And
but
there are black banks out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But we build each other up so that we can flourish within our own communities. If we need somebody that sells shoes, somebody that sells clothes, somebody that sells groceries or produce or food, we know we need that in our community, so we lend to one another so we can build that up in our communities, or we use that to build our Black Wall Street.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I just want to give you guys some ideas, and what I think of when I see the black business culture is I want to be optimistic and say that we have so much passion.
Yes, we do.
Right? In our businesses, we want to get there, but we get distracted by what everybody thinks. We get distracted by what we didn't have, and we get distracted by where this might lead to. Okay. So in black business culture, I would like to see, and I'm not saying that's everyone, okay? Send all hate mail to LaDonna at WVON.com, or you can send it to Larry, but because I don't want to read that. He'll tell me about it. But when I think of black culture, I want to think about black people coming together,
yes,
making sure that that we are all taken care of, not gatekeeping, because there's enough for everyone, and sharing the resources, sharing the wealth. I spoke to Brian Brown a while back during our 2 years ago conference, and he said, if you want to be wealthy, create millionaires. And if you want to be a millionaire, create or help wealthy people. I probably didn't say that right, but you get my point. Okay? If you want to be a millionaire, make people wealthy. If you want to be wealthy, make people millionaires. That's how he said it. And that's important. Now, let me give you some ideas on how to pay it forward in a business. Put some money behind it. Okay? I don't care if it's $500 membership, maybe putting your money in a trust, allowing yourself to have the opportunity to lend, or even asking for a person how much their products and services cost, even if you don't need it, right? And that's not throwing money away. It's not. We always say, oh, I'm not going to use that. How much Amazon do you have, right? How much Amazon do you have that you never open? How much Temu do you have that you never open? How many salt shakers do you need? Okay? But that is so important to put the money into the business community that looks like us. Yes. Speak their name in rooms that they're not in. Just simply endorse, and it's not even an endorsement. It is vouching for someone and saying, hey, call so-and-so. Like you said, when you had too many people come to your practice, you referred them out.
Right.
What if we refer each other? Are we afraid that if we refer them that you're going to be late, subpar? Is it that we don't believe in each other? Or, because like Miss Johnson on 110th and Halsted with the floral shop. I went in there and did a live, and she had to hire 2 new people the next week. But that momentum slows down. Okay, let me go through this list real quick because we're coming up on the end of this show. Give them the platform back. If you have access to media, audiences, or stages, bring them on. Invite them on as a guest. Open your network. Don't hoard your connections. Make sure you make those intentional introductions. It's okay. You won't catch something. You'll catch a blessing though.
Absolutely. Share
what you've learned. I think you gave me an example of somebody that was taking a class and you asked them to teach you and they said, you're not going to learn off of me. Who does that? We do. Sometimes we do. Pay it forward financially. Of course, invest in someone who reminds you of where you were. Give strategic support. Offer ideas, even if they're unsolicited. And if they don't want them, keep moving. Publicly acknowledge them. How many times have I been in a room with certain people and I know that they help those certain people and they won't even say, oh, and by the way, so-and-so helped get me here. What is that? I don't get it. Strengthen the system that helped you. If an organization like the Chamber supported you, join, pay, and advocate. Don't just benefit from the infrastructure. And don't say that was 6 years ago, because 6 years later, they might need you. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, to close this out, make sure you go to ILBCC.org. I told you all to take a look at Lobby Day, and I was going to look that up. Let me do that really quickly. I mean, really quickly, because it's 9:58. I'm watching these. Here we go. That is on April the 14th, starting at 8:30 in the morning. So it's a full lobby day. Guys, we're going to go down to Springfield. We're calling out business owners, leaders, okay, community organizers, all the like. We want to, this is an opportunity to influence policy decisions, that impact your business, the bottom line, build relationships with policymakers, and get in front of those agency decision makers. So I'm telling you this in short, but make sure you register to come so that you can be a part of history. We track what they do every year after year. So make sure you are in those rooms. Now, we're going to end this show with pay it forward. If someone has helped you and you are, let's say you are booming now because of them, don't forget about them and don't think, how long do I owe you? You don't owe. Just pay it forward. Because I remember when my refrigerator was empty and someone had to fill it for me. And now their refrigerator is empty. So now I can fill their refrigerator.
Amen.
Guys, Meeting the Moment is coming up at 12. Operation Push is next. Lori Smith, shout out to you on your first episode of Meeting the Moment. But that's it. I'm LaDonna Ray. I will see you guys on Monday on the afternoon show. And that's it. Lorenzo, thank you so much for stepping in.
And thank you.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Don't forget ILBCC.org and follow us on all socials. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Get ready to wake up to the pulse of progress as we amplify voices, break barriers, and illuminate the path towards a more inclusive tomorrow. Follow us across the socials at The Wake Up Show Chicago. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It's The Wake Up Show every Saturday morning at 9, where change begins with every sunrise.
Welcome to The Wake Up Show Chicago.
That's the end?
Happy Women's History Month from the station that celebrates Black